Okay, so I'm here with Jason Sreenan. He's going to be fighting this weekend at Chaos for the bantamweight title. Took you a long time to find an opponent, and then unfortunately, obviously, your opponent fell out, and then now you've got a new opponent as well. So I want to thank you so much for your time. How does it feel that you're going to be fighting for this belt on one of the oldest show in the country, and that it's finally going ahead?
I'm buzzing. I can't thank Aaron enough, for taking the fight in such short notice. So fair play to him. I think he's just back from Thailand there as well, so quick turnaround for him. Um, I buzzing myself, first title fight, just so excited. I never would have thought, whenever I moved to Belfast and started MMA, that I would have been fighting for any sort of titles. It wasn't kind of something that I had in my vision, you know what I mean, or whatever. Just wanted to get in and have an MMA fight, but here we are.
It's mad how the journey takes you like that. Your goal was to get in, just kind of train, compete, and then now this is another little goal that you never thought you were going to come across. And I think that's the beauty about journeys like these is you hit milestones you never expected or you never even thought of, and this is obviously one of them. But fighting on Chaos, how does it feel to be fighting on Chaos? Like I said, it's the oldest show in the country, a fantastically run show. How does it feel to be fighting for that belt? Like,
It's real funny because I went to watch Jack. I'd only joined ZKJ a few weeks, and I went and watched Jack's pro debut. And I had a few too many drinks out on me. I'd say some of the boys would be laughing at me saying that. I was running about saying I can't wait. I'm gonna fight on here in the next show that they have on, and here I am fighting on the next show. It just all worked out perfectly. With the fight there in February. And then just the turnaround, me and Danny were like, Chaos would be brilliant. And then he said about asking for a title fight because we knew it was vacant from what do you call him? Who went pro there on Cage Warriors.
Brady, Kieran
Brady,
Brady.
yeah, I think Kieran Brady had the belt, so we knew it was vacant anyway. So it was just perfect timing.
Yeah, and like that, like I said, were you surprised with how long it took to initially get an opponent? Because I remember you giving it to sending it to me, telling me you couldn't find an opponent. I shared it, Jason shared it, Andy shared it, Chaos shared it, you shared it,
Mhm.
everyone shared it. And it just seemed it's a weird stage right now that I know there was a couple of people that aren't available for it, but were you thinking like does no one want to fight for a belt? Like, what's the story here?
Yeah, kind of in a way, it was just I knew that a lot of guys had fights around the same time. You know what I mean? And then I don't think there is even that many bantamweights. There's so many bantamweights now in ZKJ, and I can't be fighting them. You know what I mean? My teammates, but yeah, there's just not that many bantamweights. I don't think at the moment. Maybe there'll be more bantamweights after this one for future shows, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, you're kind of it's kind of in the same in the featherweight division now as well. The likes of Mario Di Stefano, Solomon Simon, Mario's gone pro next weekend. Solomon went
Mhm.
before, and you've kind of that era kind of leaving. It's the same with bantamweight, Kikyo, and kind of people like that are kind of leaving the amateur scene
Mhm.
and coming in. There is a couple I can think of, maybe Dale Sheridan, Fufu, Stanka, but like that, I don't think there was. I think there was availability issues as well. But it's exciting then, like
Yeah,
the next crop are coming through and that's what's really exciting. Someone to keep your eye on, maybe obviously, is Jake Guy, who this is a catchweight he's fighting on the show. He is usually a bantamweight, so that could be a potential matchup after. But it's all about the
yeah.
fight this weekend. How has camp been going with the likes of the disruptions of not being able to get the fight, and then obviously we unfortunately you had to pull out through Johnny's injury. Like, how has the camp? Have you just stayed focused on what you have to do, regardless of what was happening outside of your control?
Yeah, all my coaches just told me keep the head down. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I done. I just kept my head down, got my training in, didn't really focus too much on who I was going to be fighting. I thought, in the back of my head, Johnny might have pulled out. He had said to me as well, "Oh, you shouldn't have maybe taken that one," but he was the one who said any time, anyone, any place sort of thing. So I was expecting him to be there, but it's unfortunate what happened to him. And it's a freak accident. So hopefully he's okay and he can get another fight in a while. But it was just kind of annoying. It only really set in 2 days after whenever I found out. But then we got the next fight sorted in like 3 hours, so then I was happy days, you know what I mean? But I really woke up there on Tuesday morning and I was like, I just can't be bothered here. You know what I mean? Just can't be bothered. Like, because the thought of trying to make weight for no one as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I have a bit of weight to cut, and going through that and not knowing if you're going to be fighting anybody, it's just sickening, you know. Um, but like aside from that, no, training went smoothly. Everything's great. Just really enjoying it with the boys. We have a load of guys fighting now this month. Like a load of guys fighting next week in cage conflict, and then a load of guys, or sorry, we have another guy fighting on IUR as well. And then there's a load of young guys coming through. So it's just been full tilt since the start of the year, getting everybody ready. So just been really, really enjoying it.
Yeah, no, and we're glad obviously the fight is made. And talk to us about, obviously you moved gyms. What's it like being in a new gym? I love Danny Corey. He's one of the nicest people in the game, and every time I see him we have great conversations. You've got obviously Jack Emmett, you've got Karen McNally is pro, obviously Jack's gone pro as well. And there's what I've noticed about the gym I think is quite underrated. There's a lot of people really coming through now. What's the guy's name? Dara Loughlin, because he fought someone called Dara Loughlin as
Yeah,
well on one of the shows.
yeah.
Excellent on Fit to Fight. How has your experience been since moving over, and what's the buzz like right now, especially when so many people are getting ready for fights at the kind of around the same time?
It's brilliant. I text one of my mates that moved up from IFS as well. Like Ben, he was kind of the one that was like, "Ah, you should come up and just see what it's like." Because I was thinking about leaving for a wee while, and then I trained in Lanka for a wee bit, just like a couple of sessions, just to try and get this striking a wee bit better. And then Ben was like, "Ah, just come up and try a session. I can see how it is." And at first I was like, "Oh, like it'll probably be a wee bit intimidating up here." I've seen like Jack and Emmett and Danny at shows, and I was like looking at Jack as maybe a future opponent and stuff like that there, and I'm sure they knew that as well. And then I rocked up and they just invited me in, and it was from day one they were all brilliant with me. Like there was no, you know, phasing process or hazing process. You know what I mean? Well, I think I got put in with into a Shark Tank straight away, getting Jack ready for his fight. Like, and the fact that they put me in there straight away with Jack, who's going pro, and trusted me, to like spar him and not be an arsehole whenever I'm just coming up to a new gym. I was like, whenever they respected me to do that, I was like, this is a gym for me, and I just love the place straight away, And all the guys, again, whenever I went up to watch that fight, like that Jack's pro fight, they were all chatting to me on the bus, and you know what I mean, just invited me in. It was brilliant, like. And then since then, training's just been flying, training all the time, non-stop, like maybe 11, 12 times a week getting training in. Um, I like just really, really enjoying it, enjoying the crack with the boys as well. Like we could sit and talk for an hour after training, just sharing stories and having the crack. Like,
Yeah, no, it's good. And the fact that, like you said, they trusted you to go in for the Shark Tank for Jack shows, one, obviously they could see your level of ability, and two, they trusted you like that, not to be an arsehole, to go in and just give him good solid rounds what he needed, or a good solid round what he needed to obviously prepare for his debut. But this weekend, like obviously because Aaron has come in at short notice, have you looked at much like certain different things, or have you kind of just got yourself ready? Because like you said, you've had the change of opponents, you hadn't had an opponent before. Are you just working more so on yourself, or have you looked into him much?
I haven't really like Danny's looked into him a wee bit, like, but it's just the same sort of thing. Like everything that I've learned here in ZKJ, like the striking's come on like so much. Like Danny's saying it all the time. You know what I mean? He's like, it's just mad the difference in me from I joined the gym to now. But then I still have that base of the wrestling as well. So I'm not sure how it's gonna go. It'll just all be instinctual. Once I get in there, I'll just work off of what I see and just try and get him out of there as quick as I can. That's always the plan.
Yeah, an early finish is always nice to come out fresh, and then potentially you can go again. But obviously you're not going to be looking past Aaron. We're not looking past Aaron, but I'm interested in what's your kind of plans for the year? Do you have a set number of fights, or you can just take one fight at a time and then once that's done, you'll decide going forward, because a lot of the shows, although there is a lot of shows, which is quite good, they're all grouped together within a month. It seems like you've last week you had the Cork show. You've two shows this weekend: Clan Wars Chaos. Next week you've got Cage Legacy, Cage Conflict. Then you have your Fighting Championship at the end of the month. It'd be nice if they spread them out a bit, but how, like, have you got a plan on how many more fights you want?
I probably two, close out the year, maybe go for like August or so. But like, we'll see how this fight goes, obviously, first of all, but maybe August, and then maybe something like near the end of the year, like November or December. Just want to be really active, and then just push on from there. Like,
Yeah,
try and maybe get another two title fights would be good. Like,
yeah, it would be good. And like that, Chaos usually kind of does around in November. It's they usually kind of do sometimes it's February or March or April, and then they usually have a November card as well. So obviously, if you win the title, you'll be able to defend on that. And then there's other opportunities in between. What do you make of the amount of shows that we do have? Because there is an embarrassment of of riches in shows that we've got so many. What's it like for you to be able to go, right, like, just say if this hadn't happened, you could have jumped on the card next week or the week after? What does that feel like for you as a fighter to know that there is those options there?
it's brilliant. Like, I would have only ever fought on Clan Wars. Like, that's the only show that I fought on. So fighting on Cage Conflict there, it was kind of intimidating. It was like a new show with a new gym, you know what I mean, in front of it, like a whole new training partners, and you know what I mean. You didn't want to let them down or anything. Like, you can't really be thinking about that. You're just, thinking about yourself, sort of. But the pressure's still there on you, and like, I thought it was brilliant. Like, as soon as I got there, different show and all, I was like, this is class. Like, just a change, and then it'll be the same with Chaos, and then I'd like to fight in another show again, just diversify and try and fight in as many shows as I can, because like, if the goal is like pro or whatever, you'll be fighting all over the place anyway. So yeah, I'm really happy with the selection of shows. I think it's great. Sometimes it's not great that they're all on top of each other. It's hard to get people matched in. But it's good. Like,
Yeah, because like that, obviously with the shows next week, the two shows next week, the two shows this weekend, like there is maybe a lot of bantamweights that might have been tied up in prior engagements, and you know yourself, you don't really want to, you wouldn't want to pull from one for a title fight for another, because that might ruin your relationship with that promotion going forward. But yeah, there's a lot of shows, a lot of opportunities. Like, so you've got another show. So this would be your fifth, sixth, seven, eight. So that leaves you at 8 fights. Do you have a timeline on pro, or is that just way, way too far in the future that you're just concentrating on these amateur reps, amateur fights, and then you're just going to wait till Danny and the boys think you're ready? Or do you have kind of a set date? Not a set
it'll
timeline.
yeah, it'll be Danny that'll probably make the final decision on that. Like, but I'd say maybe early next year or something. That's what I would like to aim for. Like, just train as much as I can, as hard as I can this year, because I can only do the whole thing once, so I may as well go for it. You know what I mean? I've been training now, like nearly 4 5 years, like, so I've been training for ages before I even had my first fight, like through COVID and all, and it was just a shame that happened, because I probably would have had a lot more fights. But I still got the training in anyway, so the experience is all there. Like,
Yeah, that kind of, like, a lot of fighters lost a lot. Like, you essentially lost about 2 years of a fight career, which at the time there wasn't as many shows running as there seem to be now, or as frequently as there is now. But you still lost out on maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, depending on how active you were going to be, injury free, stuff like that. But it is fight week. It is the week. You're only a couple of days away, so you're going to be making weight on Friday. How is the weight? And do you have much to cut? And what's your weight cut usually like?
so like the last fight was at 66, so it was a breeze. Like, I woke up on weight. I had a wee bit of water and stuff before I even weighed in. I think it was a wee bit lighter than Bradley on the day, but I know this one here, I'm not too bad. Like, on point, everything's gonna be smooth. Like, the last time that I went down to 61, it was horrible. I didn't really know what I was at, but this time I think I have everything under control. Like, there's no issues.
And obviously, you learned from the first time going down to this weight that to make it more simple this time, is that a weight you're going to be looking to stay at that going forward then in all your fights? That because essentially, if you're going to be going pro, you'll probably want to go in at that weight. So you're going to stay at that weight till the end of your amateur career, barring maybe a last minute fight that you come in on, maybe take on short notice.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I always wanted to fight a bantamweight, but then I think last summer, whenever I fought Gabriel, like it was again we were trying to get an opponent, couldn't get anybody, and we got Gabriel, but like they wanted at 66, so I was like, right, no worries, I'll just fight at 66. And then with Bradley, I had just started at ZKJ, and then he was like, we don't want you cutting too much weight straight away right after Christmas, because I was heavy enough back then. Like I think it was like 70, 74, 75 kilo. So that like I was probably a featherweight at that stage anyway. But then you see some of the featherweights and they're huge. So I know that it's not my weight class. So I'll be bantamweight going forward. Like I've got a good enough bit for this one, but like I say, I did it smoothly. Like gradually lost the weight over the weeks. Wanted to be at specific points, had my goals set, and I hit all my goals so far. And then on Friday here, I'm gonna hit the final goal, and then I'm gonna enjoy a feed. Like
I'd say that, especially with obviously you fought up north for your career. Down south, you have the day of weigh-ins, which I think I like the principle of it, but I don't like the actual, not the application. But I think people try and go around it and try and cut weight, which I think is dangerous. I like the idea
yeah,
of fighters not having to cut much weight and concentrating on the skill. I like that part, but some people take the piss. So when people do that day of weighing, they don't have the feed, right? They can't have the
yeah.
feed. What is your feed that you're gonna have once you weigh in? What is the go-to meal after a weigh-in?
I was just gonna say there like about the weight and stuff down south. Like you were saying about Fufu. So you were like coming up or like fighting him or something potentially in the future, fighting Stanka and these ones. Like some of the guys come up from down south, I think, and they fight at a weight class that might be a wee bit too heavy for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they're bantamweights down south, and then they're coming and fighting a bantamweight up north. I don't know. Like I think they should just like should maybe drop down to featherweight. I know they probably don't want to cut. I'd say that's kind of the reason behind it, but I don't understand that. Like I think people should just try and stay in their weight class. Like if you're fighting down south at bantamweight, you should be flyweight up north. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do get that as well, and like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
it is because I think Stanka has fought. So well, Stanka's fought a lot up north because he actually he defeated Fufu
yeah.
with a cage conflict bantamweight.
He's
Um,
actually a bantamweight. Like, do you know what
he's
I
a
mean?
tank.
Yeah, yeah,
And like that, Fufu's done so well at bantamweight. He obviously he won the gold thing, but I think like that once he goes pro, he'll probably be looking to go flyweight because I think if he
yeah. I'd
cuts a
imagine
bit of
so.
weight, it's gonna be more dangerous. I think.
Mhm. Yeah, because he was the one who initially took the fight at the very start. So like the first day we posted to look for a fight for me, he agreed to a fight, and then the next day or something, I think he had an exam or something, so he had to pull out. But I was looking so forward to it. I thought it would have been a good fight, and I watched videos of him, and I was like, this will be class because I know that he has a bit of a following, a bit of backing behind him, and he's fought in the AMAS and everything, and I was like, oh, that'll be lethal. But don't know, that could be somebody in the future, like if he wants. But I don't know. I think he should stick the flyweight when he comes up north. But that's his decision, I suppose.
Yeah, but I still think that might be a cracker of a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be a very good fight. But the what
Mhm.
was the question? What is your go-to meal? What is your go-to meal once you're finished? A lot of
Um,
people say Nando's, but I don't get Nando's. It doesn't do it for me.
nah, I'll stick to my day, and I'm not gonna do anything stupid like the day before the fight. The one fight that I lost was against Craig. Now he was massive, but I had a gyro the night before the fight. What do you call it? I think it was Tyson Fury was fighting somebody. It was in December, like 2 years ago, and Tyson Fury was fighting someone. We went to the Christmas market. I got myself a gyro. Felt horrible. The next day, then my next fight, or it might have been the one after against Gabriel, I end up getting peri peri chicken from some wee chicken shop. Wrecked myself again. So it's gonna be clean eating, everything cooked at home. I'm not gonna be going out and going to Nando's or going to all these different places. It'll be home cooked meals for me. not wrecking my stomach again.
Yeah, no, especially going into, especially because your body eating clean for so long. I'd say when something like that enters your system, your body's like, what the fuck is this? We need to kind of to get it out. I've heard of people like that get sick, diarrhea, once they've kind of had a fast foody sort of thing. But will you enjoy some sort of a fast food after the fight then?
Oh yeah, certainly. My girlfriend there, she makes brownies like, and she's got the recipe she's gonna make and all. She's gonna make me some brownies for after the fight, and then probably get a kebab and a pizza or something straight after. Back up to 74, 75 kg after this. Like then I'll have a horrible cut for the next one, but it'll be worth it. And then a
Yeah,
few
no,
beers as well, a few
a
Guinness, like.
few. Well, you deserve it. You deserve it. Obviously, going through camp, having all the sort of the stuff happening on the outside of it, and you didn't think you were going to get the fight. So, like once you get to the fight's over. You're allowed to enjoy yourself as well. So, but I want to
Yeah, of course.
I want to thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to say before you go, or anyone you want to shout out? And I can't wait to see. I'm actually going to be in for the. I'm going up on Friday or Saturday, so I'll be there for the show. So I'll get to
Happy
see you in
days.
person. So,
Brilliant.
and anything you want to say before you go?
I'll be happy to meet you in person anyway after the fight, like get a wee chat, and I'd just like to shout out my sponsors. So Net a Deal Competitions, brilliant competition company, actually based in Fermanagh, and I'm from Fermanagh, like, so it's good competition company, thousands of pounds on offer all the time. So get on there and give them a follow. Orline Studios, get my hair cut, like, you know what I mean? The boys sort me out there. Sloan's Gym, that's where I do all my strength and conditioning training. Be in there like 3 times a week, along with the gym. Round One MMA for my fight kits, and then more recent sponsor there, McKay School of Motoring, helping me get my driving, like taking me too long, like, but then these guys come on board and they're just making it so easy, like it's fantastic. And just shout out to all the boys in ZKJ for getting me ready for these past 2 fights. Just been brilliant down there. And then the coaches, Danny, Rowan, and Gary, unbelievable coaches. Like everything's just been brilliant. Like there's no pressure. Like the best I ever felt going into the last fight. Like no pressure to sell tickets and all this here. Like, you know what I mean? None of that stuff. And like just making it so easy for me. It's been brilliant. And thank you very much for having me on as well, Dave.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm glad we got to have this. I'm glad I'm going to get to see you fight in person. We'll be able to have a bit of a chat, like you said, afterwards. Best of skill this weekend. And thank you so much for your time, because I know it is fight week. I left it really late to get these interviews in, but you're an absolute gentleman about it. And I will see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday here, Dave. You, what do you call it? You've taken my mind off the food for a wee while, like, so thank you.
keep it. What is it actually with fighters? I've noticed Eamon Dean's one of them. Whenever he's doing a weight cut, he just keeps posting all this food, and I was like, "What are you doing to yourself? What are you doing to yourself?"
There yesterday, I was off work, like, so I just cooked my girlfriend all the food that I wanted to eat, and I just watched her eating it. You know what I mean? So I'm living through her at the moment, like.
Living vicariously through someone else watching to me. Oh man, that'd kill me.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, you're a braver man than me. I gotta let you go. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Saturday. All right.
See you on Saturday. Good luck.